Carlos Mendoza is the Mets manager. It is official. Definitely, this is All Things Mets. This is where you get your latest Mets media. Everything about the Mets on the channel. Definitely leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy Mets content. And let's get into today's topic. And that is going to be Carlos Mendoza and what he has to do as the manager of the New York Mets and what he has to bring and what is going to make him successful. Basically, the traits that's going to make him successful. We're going to get into a couple of things, but definitely, Carlos Mendoza, first-time manager ever in the major leagues. Yes, he's never been a major league manager, in the major leagues officially. Definitely, he's had some experience with the Aaron Boone games, being ejected and having to step in and manage those games. And he did step in and manage about 20-something games, I believe, 25, 26 games. So that was, that was a lot of games for a guy that definitely wasn't the manager. But Carlos Mendoza, he's going to have to bring a lot to these New York Mets. He's really going to have to talk to these young players. He's going to have to, not take a hands-off approach, take a hands-on approach. He's going to have to talk to these guys, talk to the young guys, talk to the veterans, and also have a good relationship with Dave Stearns. That is the main big relationship that, with Carlos Mendoza and Dave Stearns. They need to align. They need to agree, on lineups. They need to agree on the bullpen. They need to agree on a lot of things. They need to come to a consensus in a lot of things. Definitely, there's going to be some disagreements, definitely, but Dave Stearns got this guy, Carlos Mendoza, to be the manager. So if he's going to be the manager, I want him to have say. He needs to have, definitely some authority here. It can't just be like, Dave Stearns tells, Carlos Mendoza what to do. That I don't want that. I want a real relationship, a real professional baseball, relationship between Carlos Mendoza and Dave Stearns. This is Dave Stearns' first year as the president of baseball operations, definitely in 2024, and Carlos Mendoza's first year as coach. So this is gonna be big time, okay? Because he's gonna have to talk to the young players. He's gonna have to talk to the veterans. He's gonna have to figure out some situations in the bullpen. Definitely when to pull guys, when to give guys days off. He's gonna have to do a lot of things. But I don't want him to be hands-on off. I want him to be hands-on. I want him to be a coach that really, is a player's coach. That I want him to, Francisco Alvarez, Ronnie Mauricio, Brett Beatty, these young guys, Mark Vientos, if these guys are still, definitely in the roster in 2024 and they're in the lineup, I want them to feel comfortable to talk to Carlos Mendoza, and also Carlos Mendoza go right to them and tell them, what he thinks and what basically they can improve and what he wants them and needs them to do, because that is a big thing. Because a manager is a big thing. We saw with Bruce Bochy winning the World Series. A lot of people respected Bruce Bochy in the Texas Ranger organization. They got him for a reason. Now Carlos Mendoza, this is his first year as the coach ever, in the major league. So this is going to be some adjustments. This is going to be some, not everything is going to go perfect. Not everything is going to go right. Some things are going to go wrong, but it's just about how you handle things. Because if we get Carlos Mendoza, a manager that is like a player's coach, a guy that can definitely talk to these players, get in these players' heads, try to help these players. I don't want a laid-back manager. I want this guy to do some things and, talk to Dave Stearns, have a real relationship with Dave Stearns. I want them to have meetings with each other. I want them, definitely Carlos Mendoza and Dave Stearns, I want them to agree and, I want them to align. They need to align. It can't be a situation where, that Dave Stearns wants this guy in the lineup and Carlos Mendoza doesn't agree, So I want these guys to align, and that is a big thing with a manager. And I hope that, they respect him. I hope the Mets players respect him. he's already a well-respected guy. Definitely, he was the Yankees bench coach, for years. He was a minor league coach for years as well, but he's never been, a major league manager. This is going to be his first time. It is going to be some adjustments period, but I definitely think he can handle it. I definitely, think that, the experience in New York was a big, big thing for him. Obviously being in the Yankees organization for many, many years. He already knows New York. He knows the New York media. He knows how to talk to the media. He knows how to spin things. He knows how to say the truth. He knows how to say the right things. And that is a big, big thing. So, this is a first-time manager, definitely. But he's been in New York. He's had the experience. He's seen these players like Francisco Lindor, like, some other players, Pete Alonso, a Jeff McNeil, definitely, across town. But I'm sure he's keep tabs on the Mets players. And obviously when they were facing in the Subway Series, he had to keep tabs on these players and talk to these players and that type of stuff. So I really think Carlos Mendoza is going to, have to do a lot to be successful. But if he becomes a player's manager, then that will be a big, big key for the players to be successful. And also the clubhouse. If he can be respected, if the Mets players respect him, and, he gives off a vibe, about a vibe and a respect about the clubhouse, and how these players can go to him whenever they have an issue, and they don't need to feel silenced, so that is a big, big thing. I definitely think these young players, Francisco Alvarez, Ronnie Mauricio, a lot of young players, and just in general these veteran players, they're gonna want to see some things change. They're gonna want to have some some say here. They're gonna want to try to talk to the manager, and I don't feel like Buck Showalter was the biggest players manager, compared to some other guys. But I think that Buck Showalter was a good manager. He had a good first year. Second year didn't go great. And, the Mets just want to go in a new direction. And I respect it. I respect what Dave Stearns is doing. I believe in what Dave Stearns is doing. But just in general, I just want to see Carlos Mendoza just really be a player's manager, because I think that is a big, big thing. I really think it's important. You need a clubhouse. You need a clubhouse that's loose, but, that's serious. That type of stuff is what you need. We saw with the Texas Rangers, the World Series, we saw that. They looked like they were loose. They looked like, they respected the manager. They looked like, they were confident, but they weren't worried. And that is a big, big thing. So if Carlos Mendoza, this is a lot to ask from Carlos Mendoza, because he's never been, a major league manager. But I definitely think, he can connect to these Latin players, and he can connect to the veterans. I hope that the experience in New York has helped him and will help him, manage the New York Mets in 2024. And I hope he's successful. I really do hope he's successful. But, you never know what's going to happen. We'll see what happens. But definitely, I'm excited about Carlos, Mendoza. I am definitely excited about him, so we will see what happens. But, yeah, that's going to be the video. If you enjoyed the video, definitely leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know what you guys think about Carlos Mendoza. Definitely, I know he's going to have his press conference, later on. But I really see, and I really hope that he becomes a player's manager, So if these guys can go to talk to him in the clubhouse, if these guys can, not be scared or shy or anything like that, and just be comfortable with the manager, I think that is a big, big thing. Let me know what you guys think, but I definitely think a manager and the players, that relationship is very, very important. And also the relationship with Dave Stearns is probably the most important. So I hope that, Mendoza and, Stearns really connect and, can align with their, I basically hope they can align. But at the end of the day, we'll see what happens. I love you guys so much. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. Definitely got more videos on the way. LFGM for life. And yeah, man, I'm out of here.